It's the time of the year where it gets a bit dark. I'll make some street tiles, but what we're going to have to do is light them up. Hello and welcome to the Battle in Barrow and another terrain crafting video. So a while back we made these street tiles, which have been awesome. I've always wanted to add to them and improve them, and one of the things I thought about how to do this is to make little street lights from them. Just add little street lights here, but visually it looks good. But what happens if we can have them so you can actually light up your streets? That is what we're doing in this guide. It should be quite an easy one really, because effectively we're just making these and adding a light in, but the secret is fitting the light in and having a little switch. You can turn it on and off, he says. There it goes. It's that way. One of the first things we got to do is make a sort of basic street tile. This is from the original video. I'm not going to go into any techniques about how this is done. You can watch that video. What I will do is go over the techniques that are different. For this, the first thing I'm going to do is build the street section, the actual cobble street section, separately and paint it up, but not get to the flocking stage and put that to one side. Next thing is the actual pavement section. Originally I made this in 3 bits with this cobble, this gully bit here, a few mil less, as you can see here. But really, when you put all this flocking on, you don't notice. And the only time you do notice is when you try and put a mini on it and it's a bit wobbly. So I ended up starting to construct them where still in 3 bits, but I didn't cut it down, and so the miniature stood on it properly. So all I'm doing now is not cutting it down at all and making the path in one solid lump, and just texturing it accordingly. As I said, they are then painted in the same way, but just no flocking going on. You will also need to cut out the base for it. For now, we can put these to one side. The most important thing being the lamp itself. These are for model railways, HO00 scale. It's 1/100th scale, and it's about 170 mil, something centimeters high. Which, here's Hugo for scale comparison. Yeah, it looks about right. You wouldn't want a massively tall, because I would make these some sort of magical gas type lights, even though we're in the medieval world. You don't really have street lights in the medieval world, but it's fantasy, so you'd need to get some sort of small ladder to get up there to light it in some way. So that's about right. It might be a bit too small for you, but that's about right. But it works on 3-volt battery like this. Just try and find a 3-volt battery in here. So red is positive. Alright, red, yeah, there we go. So that's thrown off on camera, but you can see that's the light. So next up, what I'd want to do is have some way to turn this on and off. You can go similar, I guess, to how we did the fireplaces, where you'd gouge out a somewhere where it could go, the battery could go underneath here. But I was thinking I really want a on-off switch, and that's where the second electrical component comes in, which is this, just a little 3-volt battery container with an on-off switch. It's pre-wired. Now originally I was thinking about just attaching the wires like this, but then I've got too much wire, so I think what I want to do is take this apart and see if I can remove this solder. It's going to involve some soldering, which I'm terrible at, but removing these and soldering these in their place. So when you remove the screws, what we see inside is this. So I need to, there's a bit of solder there that I need to sort out. So if I can, here, desolder here, and on this, there's it. But this pulls apart, so this is going to be the easy one. Bit of soldering to remove that. But first, we need to go back to our tile before we do the soldering. Installing, we need to get this through. So on the back here, what I'm going to do is decide where I'm going to put it first, and I'm going to put it, these are going to be in the corner. So I'm going to ping vise, it's going to drill a hole. And hopefully that'll be big enough to thread these through. Which is perfect. But what I need to do now is put this in. I'm going to show this on camera because what I need to do is gouge this out, so, and have a bit of room for wires. So managed to pick a pen that doesn't work. Off to a flying start, so let's use pencil. Okay, I gouge out that, and then have a sort of channel going there for these wires, probably like that. Those wires here, and then excess can be sort of stored in and around here. So how am I going to do that? It's probably a better way than this. One, it'd be about the same thickness as this. So first things first is I'm going to come in and just mark down here. Cut in. I'm going to, this will give me my first step. So I'm just going to slowly but surely take a slice out here. That's the first part. I don't want it too thin because I don't want this to be too breakable. And then what I'm going to do is use that as a guide. The only way I can think about doing this. If you had a hot wire cutter, someone tell me, like a handheld one, can you shape it and maybe go down there? But for now I'm going to go down my old tried and tested method of cutting lines down it, one way, little small lines, come down, cut some horizontal ones, and some diagonal ones, and then hopefully they'll just be easy just to gouge out and rip out and so forth and so forth. Hopefully you can see where I'm going here with this plan of my crazy bum plan. So yeah, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this crazy plan. It's just going to take time. So what I'll do is I'll just carry on persevering, but hopefully this is giving you enough of an idea of this process. It's going to get a bit messy on my desk too, so yeah, important bit is to not go too deep, go deep enough that once we've got the card on, we can house this unit in here. So we're going to get to the soldering stage now of the light. Before we do anything, we need to thread the light through the hole here, thread the wires of the light through the hole. Now just need to tin the ends. Yeah, so tin in the ends. Now let's do the easy one first. He says that jokingly. Let's do the red. I'm gonna be careful because I said the little bit heats up. Okay, something like that. We have the skills of RM projects UK to do this, but let's give the next wire a go. Tug test. Tug test. Turn the solder off. Let's pop the red connector back into its housing. So, get a battery just to test my work. Put it in, and if all goes well, yeah, all the parts are now pretty much made. There's one more thing I want to do before we start assembling. So if I pull the slack through the hole here, just for now, just to make this part easier, our battery pack will live here underneath this bit, and it will be held in place by gluing the chipboard base underneath, which is great, holds it in place. But to get to it now, it's a bit difficult. I could get pliers in there or something to pull it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut like a little lip off here, so I can just get in my finger and pull it out. But what I didn't realise as well is when I bought these, I wasn't paying attention, but the switch is on the wire side. Really, I would prefer to switch down here, so you could just, without to turn it on and off, you could just flip the switch from here. Whereas now to turn it on, I'd have to, each time I want to do that, I'd have to slide it out, turn it on and slide it back in. So I don't really want to do that. I only really want to slide it out when I'm changing battery. So I'm also going to put another sort of hole around here to allow access to that switch, and this is, there we go, actually this way around. And so this is what I've come up with. So it'll be this. It's glued on here. So now it also makes getting the pack out to change the battery. So I can just slide it out from here, then pull it from this side. But now to turn the thing on and off as well, all I have to do is manipulate the switch from here. So I'm now going to for all the tiles I've made with street lights, cut these into them, which I've pre-done. I've just got to obviously do this one, and then we can start gluing them together. For gluing, I'm just going to use a hot glue gun, put some bits around, make sure I don't touch the wires, and then once that's done, apply the base, and as normal try and level it out before the glue dries. You can of course just use PVA for this, and then sort of repeat the process, the easier process. For the actual street, should be just a simple process of just putting it in place like so. We can glue the lampposts in. Use hot glue for this, or what I'm doing here is just a bit of super glue. around here. Then back in the hole. Just got to include him. What's left to do now is just to put all the flocking on that we put on the other one. So the brown here, the light brown there, the leaves. And when we have done all that, this is what we're going to end up with. So we have the lantern stuck in here. I've glued it down now. Underneath we have the control with easy access to the switch, and I can use this to pop this in and out, and we can turn it on with ease. Yeah. One thing I would say when I bought these lights I didn't think about is, even though these are old looking lights, they are for, see if I can turn them right anyway. These are for modern railways, so you may have just, I've got these in towns where I live, this kind of light, even though they are electric. I was of course expecting it to be like a flashing tea light bulb, something like that with that colour as well, but they are not. So maybe in a future project I might see if I can get into them here, buy some more that I can do and put this kind of bulb in. But it's a fantasy world. Perhaps they found some sort of magic gas that they can light, whatever. It works and it looks really cool. You know, it's going to light the way and what have you. So yeah, that is them done. Let's have a look at them all set up. Just want to say before we do that, thank you all for watching. It means a lot. Thank you to everyone that likes, subscribes, comments, you know, all that standard YouTube stuff that you all do. It's great to read comments and suggestions and encouragement. And thanks to the patrons who allow me to buy stuff like this and a soldering iron and stuff. I might do, if you're interested in sort of this, I might try and, you know, taking terrain builds to another level, which this is kind of thing. We started off with just flat tiles and now we've got lights. Let me know, and do you have any suggestions and what have you? But that's it. So until the next one, we'll have a look at it all nicely set up. Now stay safe, take care. Okay, just before we have a look at this all set up, I've just come up with a quick idea to help with the look of them. Never very happy with the white, as I just talked about. I wanted to maybe put a flickering LED bulb in there so it looks more yellow, more warm. And I thought about, why couldn't I just change the light? So, which I prefer even when they're off, they kind of look less garish. And so when we turn them on, it will show up in daylight, but you know, they're going to be more of that rather than this. So I might prefer this one here. So how do we achieve this? Well, really easy. If I can turn this off. There we go. With some yellow ink. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, if I turn this off for now, come in with some yellow ink. This is old Citadel yellow ink. You can use whatever yellow ink you want and just put it on. For now, I'm just going to put it on with the light off. Just give it a pass over with it off, just to make it easier on my eyes. Like so, and then what I can do now is turn it on. I can see any bits I've missed. Now on the camera, you are not going to see any of it. You're just going to see a bright light shining through. Whereas in reality, I can see like bits of white that are not stained yellow. So I can come in and go over. Doesn't flicker. It does solve that problem of it looking like a modern white electric light for me. There we go. So yeah, you're not really going to see a lot here because it's all blown out. But what I should do now is I've made a load of them, so I'm going to paint them up yellow, and then just when you've got them on the tabletop, just sort of sitting here. I'm looking at this one here. It looks more subtle. It doesn't stick out as a big bright white thing on your tabletop. So I'm happy with that. So just compare again. They just sort of blend in more. So yeah, I'm gonna do those, and now we'll see them set up. So just a little addendum. See you later, guys.